Chelsea women are really good. Enzo Fernandez has rejected Atletico Madrid. We've forgotten all about Mamadou Sarr, the centre-back that is joining Chelsea in the summer to join the ranks of Maresca's men. And what's going on with Cole Palmer's injury? Of course, I reflected on some news from Cy Phillips that the initial scan looked positive, but is there going to be a negative and sinister twist to the Cole Palmer situation? Hopefully we'll find out today in this Chelsea news video. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I've moved my office around entirely. I've changed the feng shui. It's still green screen, the green screen behind me. But you quite literally are looking at a different side of me now. The lighting's a little bit messed up. I'm going to fix it. I'm buying some new equipment, so hopefully the camera can be right in front of me. So you're looking down the barrel of my face. That's what I'm aiming for anyway, but I've got to get some new stands and stuff. I've invested heavily, like I try and do, for the best equipment here in my studio to give you the best content on Football Therapy. So, as always, thank you for coming along. If you want to support the content, please do consider doing so just by dropping a like and subscribing to this channel, Football Therapy. We are going to get into all this stuff today, but first of all, a little bit of congratulations. Yes, that's right. Chelsea women are a ruddy good football team, mate. They just are. They're really, really good. Amidst all this turbulence and uncertainty around the men's team at the moment, to be fair to the new owners and I guess the sporting directors who were involved with the hiring, they absolutely nailed the appointment of Sonia Bonpastor. Of course, up until the first leg of this Champions League tie against Man City, they were unbeaten, invincible, top of the league, winning in every single competition. Of course, already won the cup. An absolutely incredible achievement, but lost 2-0. 2-0 away to Man City. So it was a test that was presented to them. How would they deal with this situation? 2-0 down after their first loss of the season. I'll tell you how. By scoring 3 goals in the first, 42 minutes, going on to win the tie and advancing in the Champions League. So, chapeau to the women. An incredible team. Proper Chelsea. Sonia Bonpastor looks incredible. What else can you say? Superb. I needed to start the video by saluting them and their superb efforts. Alright guys, if you haven't seen it, by the way, I've did a nice, really interesting and quite fun collaboration with George Benson yesterday to add to the collab series I've been doing. I think I've got Nini coming up as well. I spoke to Alex Goldberg, Matisse, Joey Knight was great fun. Of course, George Benson over this international break. I think we're just about squeeze sort of Nini in before we get back to football, I guess. And I'm really looking forward to chatting to Nini. We need to nail down a time, but we're going to do some tactics and stuff like that, so we're looking forward to it. Speaking about Chelsea news, though, let's get into it. I want to talk about Mamadou Sarr, because someone quite rightly pulled me up in the comments, like, how I'm not mentioning this guy. And speaking, of course, Chelsea being linked to new defenders, right? So, I forgot about Dre, man. I forgot about Mamadou Sarr, the 19-year-old. Andre Santos was recently quoted speaking about him, saying, look, this kid's only 19, but he's mustard. So, I'm not going to use XBref. I'm just going to hop over onto X value. I'm getting them all mixed up. I'm going to look on FBref at his strengths on the scouting report, because this is a defender playing in the top 5 league, playing well, joining Chelsea. We already own him. He's coming in the summer. Possibly, I'm guessing, to play for Maresca, because he's leaving Strasbourg, coming to Chelsea. And I don't think we're going to take him away just to loan him elsewhere. So this is a scouting report here. Let's move all this over. As you can see, I'm like down here on the other side. It's all new and different. Maybe I should be, when I'm facing forwards, yeah, over here, I'll go back on the other side of the screen, because it's a bit weird of me facing like away, isn't it? So I'll get there. Anyway, this is Mamadou Sarr, right? And this is his strengths. I did see this on X Value, of course, the platform I usually use for player stats. An insanely high performance when it comes to short passes, which of course is precisely what Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca wants. It's a bit Sarri ball-esque at times, isn't it? He's really, really, really strong at doing short passes and interplay and build-up play as a centre-back. So that's great. He's got, interestingly, a very strong... his shot distance is very long, it looks like. It takes a lot of long shots, which I guess is great. His general pass completion. Remember, this kid's 19 years old, yeah? Not playing in, like, the behemoth of Ligue 1. Playing in what should be a mid-table team that's doing quite well. Top 7, I believe, at the moment. You know, pushing for Europe, Strasbourg, so they'll be happy with that. And, like, passing. He doesn't pass offside often, or never, apparently. He touches the ball lots in the defensive third. He does loads of successful take-ons. He's in the top 6%. For defenders with dribblings and take-ons attempted, successful take-ons. So he's like, you know, this is really impressive. And again, he takes good value shots and then passes, goal-getting actions, all very strong passes, dribbling. So what have we learned here? Ooh, little transition, why not? He's a very good passing and dribbling defender, which gives me kind of, it's almost like a bit of a hybrid of Levi Colwill and Wesley Fofana together. Of course, we need to see this guy defend. How well is he going to defend? Very, very important indeed. But yeah, I mean, this could be a really good young player that I certainly forgotten about, and you guys rightly remind me about him every now and again. It'd be very, very interesting to see how it goes with young Mamadou Sarr, but I wanted to bring it up again. All right. We'll end on Cole Palmer, but let's talk about this first. 90 min. Enzo Fernandez decides Chelsea future during international break. This is published yesterday by Tom Gott. Of course, being linked to Atletico Madrid. He does seem quite... Of course... He's got that sort of Galactico star quality where I'm not trying to sell Fernandez here. I want to keep him, by the way, before you guys speculate anything. He's got this kind of Real Madrid Galactico star quality, his passing, all that kind of stuff. But also, you could kind of see him at Atletico Madrid in terms of that Argentinian grit. I think Simeone would love him. Reunited with Conor Gallagher. But let's read what this article's saying here. Despite being contracted until 2032, Fernandez has been linked with a move away from Chelsea in recent months, with most speculation revolving around Real Madrid. Of course, a story that I've been reacting to here. Now, according to Eduardo Burgos, who's presumably a journalist, looks like Argentinian, excuse me. Yeah, followed by some reputable accounts on X. It was a transfer of the other half of the Spanish capital that was proposed as Fernandez faced questions from a number of Atletico players during his time away with Argentina. Of course, his best mate and homie, you can imagine, Julian Alvarez, probably going, "Come over, mate, it's bloody wicked. Come to the Wanda Metropolitano," you know, etc. There were no fewer than 5 Atletico players in the latest Argentina squad. Right back Molina, joined by Rodrigo de Paul, of course, and Julian Alvarez, Angel Correa, and Simeone, the youth Simeone. The latter, of course, is the son of the manager. So a whole posse of Argentinian Leti players trying to get Fernandez to join. The report claims several of the Atletico representatives spoke with Fernandez to try and convince him to join the club. But, okay, my face is supposed to be there. 1 second. Let's try this again. But, crash zoom. Chelsea's vice captain, Capitano Enzo Fernandez, made it clear he has no interest in making the move. Fernandez is not interested in leaving Chelsea. Sounds good, isn't it? It's just a bit of a relief amidst all this uncertainty and turbulence when these like Spanish giants who, you know, are in title races and playing in Champions League are making kissy faces at this player. It's nice to hear that he wants to nail his colours to the mast, where he is... he's not interested in leaving Chelsea, where he has forced his way firmly back into the thinking of Maresca. You'd think so, after a spell on the sidelines. I forget, he was sort of in and out, and he sort of temporarily dipped into the Conference League. I forget that, I should say. However, it still claims that all options are open in regards to his future, albeit apparently not a move to Atletico. It says he's got no interest leaving Chelsea. That's the sentence I'm going to hold on to. Chelsea, of course, already signed the young midfielder Dario Sugo. And, of course, the most notable thing you'd have to say as well is the inclusion of Andre Santos, highly rated. Another Strasbourg current player coming to Chelsea this summer who is just superb. You know, like I've said, if there was ever a way that Enzo Fernandez left Chelsea, it's because Andre Santos lives up to the hype. He starts for Chelsea and Chelsea make a lot of money for Enzo Fernandez. That is not me trying to sell Chelsea's vice captain. I'm a massive fan. Long may it continue. Yeah. All right, so let's find out what's going on with this Cole Palmer stuff. Because I did react a few days ago, or a week or two ago, whenever it was. My brain's just melted to a Cy Phillips update. Simon Phillips, of course, does his own Chelsea news, does have his own sources, contacts, often very reputable. Well, he is very reputable, often correct. He said the Cole Palmer initial scan was all clear, but he's also reporting now there is potential needs for a second scan. There is an exclusive on the Daily Mail. As loath as I am to cite and reference the Daily Mail, this is what I do here on the channel. I react to the headlines and what publications are saying. Kieran Gill, who by all accounts knows his onions, do you know what I mean? He says this: Cole Palmer has not trained with teammates since picking up this muscular problem before the international break, leaving Chelsea sweating on their playmakers' availability for next week's showdown with arch rivals Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, and he does cook Tottenham generally. I would love for Cole Palmer to be available. Of course, just quickly, me saying this, not the article, we have seen Nico Jackson back in training, which is a salve. You know, I know he hasn't scored since, 1947, but we've absolutely missed his presence on the pitch. Could do with a few goals if he comes back, but yeah, just his play style is really, really important for us, so it's lovely to see him in full training. And, of course, he loves dunking on Tottenham himself. The injury forced Palmer to miss his teammates' Premier League loss to Arsenal, of course, and he missed the two All England games against Latvia and Albania. Maresca has continued to work at Cobham. Of course, we've seen new players come back and players that train that did not have international duty, including the aforementioned Nico Jackson, who is expected to come back after 2 months on the sidelines for the Spurs game. Numbers have also been boosted by youngsters being called up from the academy to train with the first team. But Mail Sport understands Palmer's yet to participate. Maybe we just gave him a holiday and look, mate, you've been carrying Chelsea. This is me obviously speaking, not the article. You've been carrying Chelsea for so long now. Just go. What's happened is something we didn't think would happen, which is Palmer's got inside his own head. Go and fricking sit on an island somewhere for a couple of weeks and just eat some chippy chips and recalibrate whatever turned you into cold Palmer. Do you know what I mean? Maybe there is a bit of that. I don't know. It's unclear whether he will be able to do so, given his importance as chief creator of chances. And even though Palmer's not been scoring or assisting, he's been creating many a chance. We've all seen the stats. Chelsea would be willing to leave it as late as possible in terms of making a final call for Palmer's inclusion for the Tottenham Hotspur game. There was initial optimism around Palmer's issue, even though he was sent for a second scan. There you go, at the international break. So that kind of aligns with what Cy Phillips was reporting. Initial optimism, which is good, which is nice to hear, but they are unsure. I just hope there is optimism. He's not injured, and they're just letting him rest. It's been a demanding season for the 22-year-old Englishman who started every other Premier League game before the trip to Arsenal. Despite being out of form, his absence will still be a significant blow, or it was still a significant blow for the Arsenal 1-0 defeat. Truth. And look, it is an opportunity, isn't it, Tottenham, to really get back on the horse. Yeah, man, massive game, Tottenham. If we can have a Cole Palmer available, fit and firing, or just even there for vibes, because who's coming in for him? I suppose, actually, in Palmer's absence, hopefully Noni's back. I think Noni should be back. In Palmer's absence, you probably just put Lavia in and push Enzo Fernandez up, which might not be the worst thing in the world, considering the respective form and how Enzo Fernandez has been tearing apart Brazil. Maybe that would be okay, although personally I never really liked Fernandez as a number 10, certainly under Pochettino. I thought it was very underwhelming. But we'll see what happens there. Guys, let me know what you think. Sorry for some technical difficulties today, and it feels a bit peculiar at this angle, but I am optimizing the setup, always trying to make the content as good as possible for you guys here on the channel. So do come back, do hang out with me, do drop a like and subscribe. Any big story that pops off, I will try and be the first or thereabouts to react and deliver you the news. But hopefully for you guys, more interestingly, my thoughts and commentary on it. All right, mate. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the football. Peace.